Another fantastic one in the SEC. Number 8 Alabama visits number 14 Missouri. This one was a close one all the way down to the wire, but Alabama emerges victorious 27-24. What were your takeaways from this one?
Ty Simpson.
Yep.
Ty Simpson. Ty
Yep,
Simpson.
real.
I think it's really that simple. Ty Simpson is a game changer. He's a game wrecker. Ty Simpson doesn't really turn the ball over. If he does, he knows how he responds. Bo Pribula had 2 interceptions this game. You can't have 2 turnovers and expect to beat a team like Alabama, even though Alabama had 1 fumble themselves. But the difference maker in this game was Ty Simpson. Mizzou was 1 for 10 on third down. That's disgusting. 1 for 10 for third down. If you were to tell me they were 1 for 10 on third down and they only lost by 3 points, I would have been really shocked. But that is the case. Mizzou still put up a really good fight because Mizzou can run the ball, but really well. Amon Hardy is amazing, and they ran for 5.8 yards a carry and 163 yards against an Alabama defense that is still looking to find its identity and stopping the run for sure. Ever since that Florida State game, they're still sniffing for ways to figure out their run game, but I thought it was much improved, and I thought 163 yards on the ground for against that Mizzou running back tandem is pretty damn good. But overall, you've got to what's the word? You've got to beat Alabama with your arm sometimes, and Bo Pribula felt like he could only try to beat him with his legs, and that was not going to be good enough. And I think that showcased on their last final drive. And Bo really should have had 2 more interceptions or 1 more interception that kind of went through the defender's hands. So that Alabama defense is starting to get momentum. They're starting to play right. They're starting to bring blitzes. But yeah, the difference maker in this game is Ty Simpson. I think that's going to be a difference maker in a lot of the Bama games we talk about the rest of the season. It's going to be Ty Simpson and what he's able to do, because Ty Simpson is probably the Heisman frontrunner right now. I don't think it's ridiculous to say that. I think he'd be number 1 in my polls right now, right there with Carson Beck. But what he's able to do is just beyond impressive, and the way he's able to get people involved. I mean, he's throwing for 23 to 31 for 200 yards and 3 touchdown passes, and I don't even think 1 pass went to Ryan Williams.
Yeah,
Isn't that
that's
crazy
the
to
point
think
I was
about?
thinking.
So that's what, it's crazy because Ryan Williams isn't even making these catches. It's guys like Brooks, Horton, it's Jam Miller coming out of the backfield, Bernard coming out, getting himself a few too, 3 for 20. So I just think that overall this Bama team is, hey, Bama football is back. All right, it's no more debate on if they are back or not. They're back. The Florida State game was a speed bump in the road, but a speed bump in the road that they are probably looking at as one of the biggest blessings. Just kind of like how I think Texas is going to look at the Florida game as a big blessing down the line if they can continue to win games. If you sometimes there is a such thing as a good loss, right? Like in college football, I think people need to understand that there is a such thing as a good loss, and I think that was a good loss for Bama early on. Humbled them back down to reality, and now they're playing really good team ball right now.
Kalen DeBoer has really channeled that week 1 noise, right? After losing to Florida State, you go back to ground zero. What do we need to improve on? What do we need to get better at? And I think he's been a masterful coach in figuring that out and getting to that point with Alabama. But I think the Crimson Tide might have the best resume right now in college football. And the fact that we haven't seen them at their full potential is what is most impressive. They beat Missouri in ugly fashion. Missouri coming in had the number 4 scoring offense and the number 2 scoring defense in the country. Alabama didn't do much. They just controlled. You felt the confidence was there with Alabama. Ty Simpson, Canyon, like you mentioned, 23 of 32, 200 yards, 3 touchdowns. And since the opener against Florida State, that first game that revoked them to ground zero, Simpson is completing 76% of his throws, averaging 9.7 yards per pass, and has thrown 14 touchdowns and just 1 pick. Absolutely on a tear. I think he deserves to be that Heisman frontrunner after the last couple of weeks that he's had nearly perfect games under center. The most interesting part of it all to me is that when I said they haven't seen them at their best, they haven't been using their best guy, Ryan Williams. 0 receptions, 0 receiving yards. They're doing it without their star receiver. Their defense is constantly getting better. LT Overton was the star for me in this one. Ahmad Hardy, I thought he got dissolved a lot. 58 yards total. Missouri, like you mentioned, 1 for 13 on third down. I just think Alabama's off to a fiery start. First 3-0 start in SEC play, or I guess first 3-0 start against all AP ranked teams in SEC play in program history. They're now 4-0 in true road games at Mizzou. Mizzou impressed me. I honestly thought they battled to see their ability to fight back and to try to win this game. Realistically, like, they had a shot at the end of the game. I know it resulted in an interception, but this is one that if decisions were made maybe differently on that final drive, it could have been a big upset. Bo Pribula, third game of the season with 2 or more passing touchdowns and a rushing touchdown. He has more such games than any other SEC quarterback. So don't count out Mizzou, I think, for this loss in this game. It's only their first loss of the year. A lot of SEC play left. And while they have lost 4 straight games to AP-ranked teams, I think this team is a little different than the previous Mizzou squads we've seen.
Yeah, I think Coach Strink will have them boys ready to play next week, and they're still a team to watch for sure. Like I said, they only lost by 3. This guy's not falling, but at the same point, you would have loved to win that game. You're at home. Would have been a huge momentum swing in terms of your season on the pendulum pole. But at the same point, there's still so much, there's still so much for them to gain back. It's only 1 loss. Bo Pribula still looked impressive. He's just got to clean up the turnover battle. But that's a Bama secondary that's also really, really talented. I think people don't understand that Bama team is really good. It's still Bama football, guys. Okay, yep. I think we questioned that after the Week 1 Florida State game. We called a question: is this Bama football? It's still Bama football. And then those players are playing Bama football for sure.